Good to go. Mm-hmm.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams. NYC.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from the Knick of Time Show. Here to give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And man, it's time to talk about a ridiculous, crazy game. The Knicks beat the Trailblazers in overtime, 114-113, led by Mikal Bridges. After all the talking about managed distribution and getting to the bench, Mikal Bridges gives you 33 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, a block, and a steal in 40 minutes of play. All right. We also had some contributions from Josh Hart, who gave you 11 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists. OG Anunoby gave you 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. Karl-Anthony Towns, 21 points, 7 rebounds on the night. And Deuce gives you 11 points with 4 steals, okay? Despite getting smacked on the boards, the Knicks still prevail because we lost the rebounding battle 63-52, giving up 21 offensive rebounds to the high-powered Portland Trailblazer team. But you know what? The Knicks, they forced those turnovers, all right? We had 13 steals on the night. I believe we had 23 turnovers as well. And the Knicks end up winning a close one in overtime, led by Mikal Bridges, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Cole. And we're going to talk about it all, okay? The good, the bad, the ugly, the rumors, the chatter. We're talking about it all tonight. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this KOT show. And before we get into the details of the game, I'm going to introduce you to my peoples. First and foremost, it is the Latin Assassin, my guy, the Escobeedo. Was good, Lee?
What's going on to start this season when I was thinking about not getting overly high or low on a game? I thought back to the very first girl I fell in love with and how my love was not reciprocated. And she had a really strong ability to be very cold and detached emotionally when it came to my pleas, to need one thing or hopefully give me another thing. And I learned a lot from that experience. And I applied what I learned to this Knicks season, to not get too hype over a big win or too low after a big loss. I was going to come on the show and use that analogy whether we won or lose. I already prepared myself. There's a lot to really like about this. Most especially, we've learned how to win gritty again.
Absolutely. Well, I hear you, Lee. Today, I'm getting hyped, all right? Screw that. I'm getting
You,
hyped
brother.
today. Screw that noise, all right? But I'm usually with you most of the time, but I'm hyped about this way. All right. Let's go. Our next shout out to our ex-D1 baller, Ebony, aka Mad Knicks fan. What's going on, Ebony?
Gotta get off mute first of all. What up, y'all? Yeah, good win. Like Lee just mentioned, we win in gritty again. Ugly games when we not at our best, when we not hitting all the shots. We're winning, and that's what was missing. And it feels good. It feels good. I know people who struggle with the Blazers, but the Blazers are a young up and coming team that's been playing well lately. You know, so you gotta put context behind that. They are in the NBA for a reason, and right now they're gelling. Granted, they're 1-4 right now, but before that, they were on like a 5-game winning streak type vibes.
Yeah.
So it's not a pushover. They have talented players over there, and again, we were able to grind it out. I can't wait to break this game down.
Me neither. So shout out to you guys for watching the show. Shout out to Yankees One on TikTok. Shout out to YBGVIC on TikTok as well. And shout out to my YouTube crew who's here rocking with us as well. Shout out to Glamour Alexander, picks for Timmy, JR Costos, everybody else is rocking with the KLT show. I appreciate you guys. Let's get to it. Mikal Bridges, damn it. Mikal, man, made the picks look worth it today. I'm a start. He made the picks look worth it today. Now, before when Jalen Brunson went down, we talked about who can step up. I specifically highlighted Mikal Bridges, and I feel like a lot of Knicks Nation was looking at Mikal Bridges too. Like, this is you got the juice now. It's time for you to turn up. Because when I say you're looking at this team, even though I feel like OG Anunoby seems to be like the natural alpha, I wanted Mikal to be the alpha of this team because he has the natural talent. The mid-range game is smooth as butter, it's natural, it's automatic. And once he gets going, it's hard for him to stop. So you really, when the game is on the line, I'm like, damn, we have to go to Mikal. And we did that today. Funny enough, we talk a lot about drop coverage and how we shouldn't play it. Today, if the Knicks fans were Portland Trailblazers fans, they'd be looking at Chauncey Billups like, you supposed to be the coach of the year. You supposed to be leaving these Portland Blazers to the promised land, but you got them running drop coverage all night against Mikal Bridges, the mid-range assassin. What is wrong with you, bruh? But that's exactly what happened. Blazers ran drop all night, and guess what? Mikal was dropping all night, dropping buckets. So he did it all. He played defense, got 5 fouls, didn't get fouled out, covered for a boneheaded miscue in overtime, only to hit a buzzer beater from the top of the key on the move over the outstretched hands of a 7-footer. With the quickest release you'll ever seen. It doesn't even look like the shot should be going in, how fast he shot the ball, but he had it going all night, and I'm glad he did after all the chatter, all the criticisms. Glad to see Mikal Bridges have an efficient night, 33 points, pass the rock, play defense, not get fouled out, and put the exclamation point on this Knicks win, man. Woo. Love this game from Mikal. Love this game. What you got, Lee?
Yeah, as someone who survived the Isaiah Thomas years, I don't really get caught up in the conjecture that happens with this Tibbs coach team. Leon not talking to the press, the miscommunication between Tibbs and Bridges on who said what, or if a conversation ever happened. We have a group chat and there was some back and forth. I tended to stay out of it because my opinion is I just don't get caught up in that stuff. I've lived through hell. I've lived through where we were absolute poverty and we were a joke. And the issues were not, did they have a conversation about less minutes? It was James Dolan and Isaiah Thomas being sued for sexual harassment. Like, I've survived that. I can handle this BS. So what I focused on was a game. And ever since it happened a little bit before Ebony and I had a conversation on the pistol action and incorporating it, it's become a huge part of our offense. We're running it a lot. And a version of a pistol set was used for that game-winning play. I've heard a lot of speculation on Twitter. Tibbs doesn't run offense. It's read and react. Well, that was a setup play that had multiple options in it, where there could have been a lob. It could have slid into a pick and roll. It could have been Bridges takes the ball, puts it on ball, and drives to the basket for a foul. But in this situation, after Josh Hart set that initial screen to get the ball to Bridges, Bridges had climbed in on him. And when he saw that mismatch off of the switch, in my opinion, he made the right read, which is this center cannot close out on me on the three-point line, so I'm going for this three, opposed to putting the ball on the floor and trying to hit the basket. That was the right read to me, and that was a read that was predicated on a set play by Tom Thibodeau. I am not a Tom Thibodeau fan. You fire him tomorrow, I'm not going to get on here and start crying, right? I'm very ambivalent about the man, but I do give him credit. He's a very good coach, and I think he is evolving with this team, and it was great to see a play decide designed for Bridges and Bridges to take the ball and make the shot between the two guys who have been controversial over the last 12 hours over who said what. And Bridges' unique ability to get into the mid-range, the Knicks' unique ability of utilizing mid-range shots as part of their offense. They are, I think, number 2 most efficient in mid-range usage across the NBA, and they have probably at this point DeMar DeRozan's lost a step. I think Mikal Bridges is the best mid-range player in the NBA. Is someone who is healthy and available and using it often. Right? Kawhi in the playoffs, give me him. Understood. But guys who use it day in, day out, that is becoming a bailout on the same level as the Isaiah Hartenstein push shot that we had last year. So it's great to have that as part of an arsenal. And yes, Tibbs was using Josh Hart as a ball screener. Saw a lot of that conjecture on Twitter. We don't really go 5 out, but we have to use Josh Hart in the dunker spot or use him as a ball screener. Well, tonight he was used as a ball screener and it freed up Mikal Bridges for a wide open 3 to win the game. So I don't know what the prism is. If you want to talk ball, talk ball. If you want to push an agenda and hate Tibbs, push an agenda and hate Tibbs.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with a lot, but some of the stuff I didn't like. I know Tibbs does do some good things. He does. As a non-Tib hater, I try to give him his flowers when he does well. My problem with Tibbs is the consistency in it. Like it seems like okay, 1 or 2 games he'll do something, out of the box or towards what we need, and then we go back to what we know. And it always seems like he does his best work when we're missing somebody, when he's forced when his hand is forced. That's another problem I have. Like throughout the season, especially earlier in the season, I would love for him to experiment more. So in the case where we are missing a Jalen Brunson or a Cat or any other major big piece, people don't feel so lost, What you're seeing now is our team not having to defer to not going for our best player, but the best available shot. And a lot of times you see our players in their element. We're curling now off the pick. I seen them running Shamit off screens today. That's something we asked for, like making it easier for everybody, all your players. So that's just some of the criticisms I have with Tibbs. Is that he can do it, but does he? And when and Petty Tibbs, you know how I call him Petty Tibbs. We asked for the bench, he played the whole bench together. So
at the same time.
stuff like that is what we're not. I get it, but don't do that. We ain't asking for the whole bench together, but petty stuff like that. I just want consistency. I would like for this to see this continue even when Brunson isn't in the game. You understand? So can we get Mikal going in his element just like this and any given time of the game instead of forcing the ISO ball all the time. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. We're fortunate to have one of the clutchest players in the NBA, but again in the playoffs when it slows down, you need everybody. So this is a good look that Mikal gets that last winning shot. Good for morale, good for the others. I'm gonna say it real quick and I pass the mic. I remember speaking about the non-Brunson minutes for a minute, looking a lot differently. So this is a lot of non-Brunson minutes right now, and we're seeing them look a lot differently. This is a team that can sustain, can hold it down until our captain gets back.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you that they can definitely hold it down with the defined roles. And let's be clear, man. This is when you have a lot of talented offensive players on the same team. Historically, not even just with the Knicks, you can go to any NBA team with 3 players who come together, starting from the freaking original Big 3 in Miami. It takes a minute for players to figure out, like, it's time for me to get mine. It's time for him to get mine. Usually one player has to sacrifice a lot. I remember watching Miami and LeBron and the way that Wade. I'm not saying we're them, but I remember everybody shat on Chris Bosh for like a year. Oh, he doesn't do anything. He only doesn't do 10 points. He does nothing. Until somebody got injured. And when somebody got injured, all of a sudden, Chris Bosh averaged 30. And it's like, wow, why wasn't he doing this before? Because he didn't have to. That's not his role in this team. He doesn't have to give you 30. Chris Bosh's role when Dwayne Wade and LeBron James was healthy was to space the floor, give you 15, play defense. So So like, so we're at a point where we have Karl Anthony Towns, we have Jalen Brunson, and Mikal Bridges is kind of our Chris Bosh.
Yeah. And what folks, before you move on, before what folks forget is different systems, different, like you mentioned, it's gonna be players look differently in different systems, different roles, or whatever the case may be. People forget how Chris Bosh was an absolute monster in Toronto.
Yep.
So it always seems, and that seems to be the trend next to LeBron. When you the big man, you get the most slack when you play with LeBron. We seen it them destroy Kevin Love too, forgetting that he was an absolute
Yeah.
monster in
He was a
Minnesota.
2020 man. He
Yes,
was a beast.
exactly. So different teams, different roles, different systems rather make players look differently. Also, so yeah. Mikal will get it. I've been on here multiple times saying I don't kill Mikal OG too much because I know they do so much. On both sides of the court, and a lot of times their play doesn't end up in stats. So you can't really always look at their impact by just looking at the box score.
I love that this position that Mikal Bridges has found himself in is the same one that Fournier, Reggie Bullock, Quentin Grimes, Dante DiVincenzo were in. And the difference between all of those guys and Bridges is not just a talent difference. It's also Bridges has only one who had experience being the primary guy during his time in Brooklyn. Granted, he wasn't playing for wins, but the offense was being ran through him. So he has the ability more than anyone else to make this role his. Tibbs kind of leaves this role to be, listen, at the very base, it's catch and shoot. You're playing in the corner. You're defending at a high level. Most of the time, you're taking the hardest perimeter guard on switches. You're the guy who needs to stay on somebody when they're hot, but switch onto them when they're hot, and really lock down the 1 through 3, sometimes a 4, maybe in a fronting position. Bridges has a capacity to make this role his and to expand it beyond anything we've seen, including Dante DiVincenzo, who became a heater at the end of last season. Bridges' mid-range ability and also to draw fouls. Those are the two things that he needs to stay on to make this role a legitimate third option. Because for the most part, that's a shooting guard role in Tibbs' offense is the fifth option. But right now, Bridges with Brunson out, the silver lining is Bridges can start finding his way into flow and really have the amount of shots given to him that would normally go to Brunson are now being distributed between him and Deuce to really be able to find himself in the offense, pick his spots, and find the ones where he's the most efficient.
Yeah, in fact.
Yeah, and my hope really is like when Brunson comes back, we'll be able to kind of mesh everything together. And I've mentioned this before, and I'm gonna say it again. I feel like when OG Anunoby got injured, we were clicking on all cylinders. We was getting 30 assists a game. I feel like the ball was moving a lot, and the only thing that was kind of missing for us was probably the defense was still a little bit up and down. But I feel like offensively we were really in a groove. And I feel like when OG went down, Precious had to start. Josh Hart started passing up 3-point shots. Jalen Brunson went back into I have to save the team mode. And then once those guys came back, he was still kind of in that I have to save the team mode. And we never reverted back to the style of play where we was getting 30 assists a game without even thinking about it. So I think this is one of those things where it could be a blessing in disguise because now we're naturally back in that 30 assist a game mode. Brunson can come in and go, I just have to work myself into the game now. I don't have to be here with Brunson and disrupt whatever's happening, especially if we start to put more games away and win this way. I think it could bode well for us for the long run. And also, there's been this thing where when the second unit comes along, it's been sometimes Cat leading the second unit, sometimes OG, sometimes Mikal. Like, I wonder if like having Mikal be the guy would really solidify a hierarchy on like who's leading the second unit. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, when this team was first put together, Mikal should be leading the second unit. That's how I sorted my brain. Anyway, like Mikal should be getting loose with the second unit, getting his shots up. So when the game is on the line, he's got his shots. Cat's got his shots. Brunson got his shots, and then it's even more dangerous because everybody's into a rhythm. Will that happen? I'm not sure, but I hope that kind of happens towards the end of the
The
season.
The toughest
Yeah.
part of that is Bridges finding his mid range if he's playing alongside Mitch with the bench. And Mitch is so crucial. He had some boneheaded moments, a bad stretch, the end of the third quarter, I believe, that kind of got Portland back in the day. And there were a lot of missed cues, Mitch around the rim. But pairing Mitch or Bridges is difficult. It's not a seamless fit. Bridges lean the bench because that mid range spot's now occupied by Mitch in the dunker spot. So it's difficult to get his rhythm going if he's not playing with a stretch five, or at least a five that has some offensive bag beyond 10 or 15 feet out to free up that mid range. To me, I think eventually the offense is going to work itself out. I agree with you. Mikal Bridges should be the guy that's leading the bench unit. But I think what we will not figure out until Mitch is inserted into the starting lineup is how to defend the pick and roll. The offense can complete itself. Everyone can be in sync. But until we find a way to elevate Brunson and Cat as a primary pick and roll defenders, this team is going to have a lot of trouble defending it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. I kind of liked Cat's pick and roll defense today. Um, he actually wasn't really playing drop. I feel like Tibbs was switching a lot. He was just, and you heard me talk about the switching. Like he was switching onto the guards and he was holding his own a lot. He was actually playing up to the 3-point line today. He wasn't dropping at 3-point line. Shoot, there was even a couple of times where he was kind of dropping back a little bit and he actually gave a decent effort contesting penetrators. I actually really liked Cat's defense today. It was weird. And Mitch had some defensive moments, but I almost feel like it wasn't. I usually I see Mitch and he blows Cat out the water defensively. Mitch is still super active today, but I feel like Cat held his own defensively today. So if that's the Cat we're getting at the end of the season and in playoff time, then I feel a lot more comfortable about where we stand.
Yeah, Cat definitely showed some better defensive principles today. You know, I saw Lee mentioned it also, using the baseline, but he's still up and down with his defense. I remember me saying the same thing you were saying, Jay, and then right after I said it, I mentioned like, yeah, Cat, he playing better defense today, like talking out loud, and then he did some boneheaded on defense. So I was like, dang, maybe I should have said. But then he put him in the down the clutch. He made some good defensive, made his presence known.
Yeah, the
Didn't back
block at the
down. Didn't look
end.
soft. Like cut. I normally say how when he contests, it's kind of like he allows a lane to the basket still. So it's normally just the and one. Today he was doing better of getting between the player and the basket,
Yes.
doing things like that, taking better angles. His fundamentals defensively today were way better.
Yeah.
Way, way, way better. My guy Mitch also, he was doing his thing. He had some so and so you could tell that his wind is not there, and when that happens, he's a step slower than
Yes.
normal. You definitely see the wind is not there just yet. But again, showing his other stuff to his game, that he was doing last year, getting in the passing lanes, getting some steals, getting deflections, doing stuff. So when people just talk, they limit him to only a rim protector. I would be quick to remind people that baby was leading steals
Yeah, still
when
again
he was
last year.
playing consistently.
Mm-hmm.
So you just see and some key blocks. He has some blocks that look like some layups that he saved. So yeah, just I can't wait for him to the restriction is off and his wind is back because you see what the impact could be. And shout out to Cat for I don't know, watching film, listening to somebody, taking better angles. I don't know what he did, but I hope it kind of reminded me of what he did in that Atlanta game. I just hope it can continue and he can build on it.
Jay and Eb, how much do you think that is Cat, or how much is it McBride instead of Brunson guarding the pick and roll?
I think it is a lot of McBride because now you instead of having to hide two people, you only have to hide one. You only have to help and really help over on one, and they're able to switch. I remember saying how it looked like Tibbs implemented just a hedge and recover for Brunson instead of switching because he didn't. We kept getting Brunson caught in islands on bigger players.
Right.
So now with McBride, a better defensive player, he's more so going to switch more than the hard hedge and recover routine.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Like, when you're flat out switching, and it's not some hedge and recover, then I feel like the scheme is different. Now, is the scheme different because McBride is in there versus Brunson? I don't know, but I feel like they were switching in Brunson before. I feel like Brunson. No, I felt like Brunson was switching a lot more right before the injury. He was, because I remember seeing Brunson. I remember a lot of times you're like, why is Brunson on when he was playing the Celtics? Why is Brunson on Tatum? Why is Brunson on Brown? We found out, but then he would end up breaking up. He end up playing great defense in ISO, but they never really did that with Cat for some reason. And whenever they did do it with Cat, I kind of liked the results. Even if they did score, it was like a tough bucket. So I feel like they were just more deliberate on their switches today with Cat. So I think it's just a different scheme, or Cat just stepping up to the plate today. And it definitely helps to have McBride, who's going to be a hawk on, give you 4 steals in the first half. That's going to help. But
great responses.
But Cat definitely was just more deliberate today. And even by the rim, he was just, like you said, better angles. Hand is up. Not to get any stupid fouls. All the stupid fouls were on the offensive end, really, today.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I remember saying too many times, why the heck is why is Jalen Brunson on this guy? Why is he on that? And it always seemed like he get caught on like a power forward type smooth, not just a shooting guard, but like a power forward center. Not any mismatch. Like the most mismatch you can possibly get on the team right now. So yeah, and predicate shout out, Deuce and those blocks, not quitting. Again, I mentioned that him, Mikal, and OG, they don't quit on the play, even if they're beat. They're going to try to make an attempt to make it hard for you, however way they have to do that. So those people always get a little grace from me because again, their impact always doesn't show up in the box scores.
Absolutely, man. The team defense all day to me was pretty good. It's actually been good for the last few games, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I seen a stat, Jay. They said since Mitch has been here.
Read my mind. I was going right there, Ebony. Go ahead. Like literally about to say.
Go ahead. You do the honors. You do the honors, Jay.
Nah, that's your boy. Go ahead.
we have the fifth ranked defensive rating since Mitch has come back. So we see. I mentioned in one of the pods how our help had to get a little better, and I'm seeing improvement there. When we're initially beat and the help comes to help, the person rotating to cover their man has been there.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of these last couple of games, majority of the game. And sometimes we miss coverage, but we're not perfect. But shout out to the defense just getting better and knowing each other, and hopefully Cat continues with the defense he had today.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he's not going to be all defensive, but if he just takes better angles like he did today and just better defensive principles, he can be a good team defender.
Yeah, and we saw Cat and Mitch together too today. We saw it's like the second game we seen them together, and they look good for a stint until Mitch got into foul trouble. But it's like okay, it gives you a peek of things to come.
A couple of those fouls are bogus, but we ain't gonna talk about the bogus refs. I like it. That's why one of the reasons I want I can't wait for those minutes restrictions to get off because it does look good with Cat and Mitch. Everybody does actually, and because everybody's in their natural positions. So I can't wait till those restrictions are off.
Yeah, and that was the bench too. That was with the bench. Yo, let's talk about somebody else too. I want to talk about Josh Hart for a little bit. Funny enough, Josh Hart had another pretty good game. Bonehead play. It's funny that turnover. I don't even completely blame on Josh Hart. I almost kind of prefer it because I feel like if you threw that pass, that would have been a short turnover. Anyway, to be honest with you, like I feel like he was doomed anyway. I really feel like they were all the talk about the Portland defenders and how they had such amazing defense to deny the inbound. They literally were grabbing Mikal Bridges' arms as he was trying to cut through. I'm like, I don't know what type of defense that is, but I'm pretty sure that's not legal. That's like, you can't like I saw him grab both arms and Mikal just fling them off, and then they grabbed them again. So it was like, is that ball denial? But it is what it is. We won the game. We won the game anyway. I got on a rant. I forgot where I was even going with this. Josh Hart. Okay. Josh Hart 2 of 6 from 3 today. And he didn't shoot well from 3 today, but damn, at least he took them, man. I'm just glad he freaking took them. It's like when he's not scared, things open up a little bit. He started off shooting well from 3, hit his first 2 shots, then missed a couple, but it still ends up with 9 assists, some really gritty rebounds in some key moments, and just some big games. I feel like he took it upon himself to be more aggressive from 3 ever since Brunson got injured, and I wish he had that when he was here because we just need that from you no matter if Brunson is playing or not. Like that's when we first started this season, it was like, oh wow, Josh Hart is shooting threes and he's making it. Like that's how you need to play all season, not just when Brunson is out.
Yeah, I thought Josh Hart, besides the boneheaded play, I liked that there were moments where he got back into his short roll game where he was making plays out of that and finding his teammates for open shots from 3, backdoor cuts. He racked up 9 assists today, always on the rebounding game. But Portland was leaving him open. You just see that was, as it's happened many times this season, the opposing coach just basically leaves him open and decides that's a shot they're going to live with. And his shooting percentage tonight showed the inefficiency there. Not just a 2 of 6, which I think is actually okay for Josh Hart. It's more the 4 of 14, which encompassed a lot of at the rim and mid-range shots as well, long 2s that he bricked. Him not taking that shot so immediate and getting back into that short roll mindset where he's trying to hit the basket, defense collapse, and then he makes a play out of that. That's where he's at his best. And I think in overtime that suffered a little bit, but the 3rd and 4th quarters, I thought that's how we got back in the game, was in part of his playmaking. So I was happy overall with his performance. As an inbounder, I mean, maybe it should be someone else in that role. I think he does it because of his ability. His court vision's pretty good. And he's an above average passer. I almost think maybe that should be Mikal Bridges in that position, but then you have Mikal Bridges, your best off ball player. He's the one who's going to be coming off curls, and that attention draws the defense too. So I'm not really sure. Maybe it's Cat. I don't know, but it shouldn't be Hart because I'm seeing a lot of instances where Hart is the inbounder and it leads to a turnover or some type of botched play. So he giveth and he taketh, but he definitely giveth more.
Yeah, I think the facts, but I think it's hard because if you take it and you put OG and put Hart out there, they're just gonna play off of him and kind of like double somebody else. So it'd
Yeah.
be probably it might be harder to get the ball in if he's not inbounding.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think in that situation, we just needed another option to pass the ball to because I think Knicks had 2 players back. There's 2 of them was on Mikal, 1 was on, I think, OG or something. I think they just needed another option to toss it into at that moment. But
is it
yeah.
is it the PJ Tucker effect?
Shoot them up.
Yeah,
Love it.
after Hart hitting him, he pointing over there. I know people laugh and they say the mystical effect of PJ Tucker and this and that, but people don't. They really underestimate what having vets and having vocal vets, the ones that you look up to, even come near you and actually give you game, and you don't know what another teammate can say to you to make something click for you.
Right.
They might give you, something that didn't make sense to you or a shortcut in your game to help you or whatever. So you never know what teammates can help you with in your game. So maybe it really is a PJ Tucker effect, just him getting confidence, somebody else getting in his behind about it. Pause. But I liked Hart game besides the bonehead move. I did. He playing, doing it all throughout the box score, moving without the ball, hitting the cutter. Yeah, Just everybody doing their role, playing their parts.
Yeah. I'm not one of those. I'm not going to say that we're better without Brunson. A ridiculous comment. I'm not even thinking that, but I have loved while Brunson's been out the silver lining of the other guys gaining confidence, confidence in their shot, confidence in their shot diet, really picking their poison and killing the opposing team. Whether it's now Mikal Bridges out of bounds. Catch and shoot threes, adding that to part of his dagger repertoire. OG Anunoby hitting game winners and drilling threes as well. Karl-Anthony Towns looking more aggressive and getting a little bit more confident getting downhill. And then Deuce. I thought Deuce was absolutely spectacular tonight. I know that the percentages weren't there, but the eye test on Anthony Simons, I thought his on-ball defense on Simons was outstanding. I mean, if you look at my Twitter feed, I'm very active in talking about Deuce McBride's defense. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to watch about this team. And Simons has been on a heater. He's not the most efficient player, but he is someone who's like, give me the ball in crunch time. He's kind of the vet on a very young team, and he's one of the best on-ball creators on that team. Guys, a lot of rookies and second-year guys. He's the one who has experience trying to win a game in late shot clock situations. And I love Deuce McBride's ball denial and just hawkish on-ball defense. He was a dog tonight. Great steals, great playmaking, great rebounding at the lead guard position. Really, I'm falling in love with Deuce's game, and he's rising to one of my top 3 favorite players on this team. What a joy to watch.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Jay.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, Deuce, again, everything we've asked him to do, he's doing. I'm asking for layup package now, but even today, around the rim, he got some. Yeah, he got.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I saw it too. I still needed more layup package. I know. But he does it all. The defense, constant pressure, never giving up, never backing down. You know, the dog, the grittiness, allowing you to get a versatile player. He does a lot of things. Another player that does a lot of things, and he doesn't demand the ball.
Yeah.
Those players are always the ones you want on your team, the ones that you need on your team, because there is only one ball. You need somebody else to do the other thing. So whether it's disrupting the pass or butt bursting through the screens, whatever he has to do, pressuring you in the backcourt, whatever it is, Deuce is going to try. He doesn't care what size you are. He's going to try. And I respect him so much for it. And the fact that everything we've asked him for, he's basically added to his game. So that makes me respect him even more, because that means you're a workhorse with a good work ethic, and he has heart. You can't do no bad in my book.
Absolutely. Shut off Anthony Simons' water, all right? 2 of 11, 18%.
Yeah, 0 points.
Yeah.
He had 0 points in the first half.
Yeah. He had like a miracle 3-pointer, and that's about it. 2 of 8 from 3, 2 of 11 from the field, 6-point total. The person who was really killing us was Denny. It's funny. I feel like his hate from the Wizards carried on to Portland, because I feel like he hated us when he was on the Wizards. I feel like he was looking at this game today like, "Oh, I'm going to get the Knicks." You almost did it, dude. You almost did it, but gotta be quicker than that. Not quite. Not quite.
Jay Simons was coming off a 32-point game against the Warriors. So, like I said, he's coming off a good stretch, and Deuce played incredible defense on him. It helps that Simons is undersized, and he doesn't have the height advantage over Deuce. But Deuce was great on ball. Major props.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, sorry, Jay.
No, I was honorable mention to the campaign.
Oh, I was about to bring him up. Him and Shamit. I swear.
We here today. We here today. Honorable mention to campaign and Shamit, who gave you 6 apiece. Their minutes have also expanded since then. Especially really happy for Shamit, who's kind of been getting 5 minutes a game, 7 minutes a game. I would like to see Shamit get some more minutes, and I like that he's running off curls right now and shooting threes. And not only that, it seemed like today he's been mid-range assassin. He wasn't really hitting threes today. He was just like, I'm living in the mid-range. And this is like the Shamit that we saw in preseason, where we kind of was just like, oh yeah, we can use him off the bench. Maybe our bench isn't as bad as we thought it was going to be. Then he got injured, and I felt like he never quite got back to that efficiency, and it seems like that's what's happening right now. So yeah, honorable mentions to Cam and Shamorie, who had some good scoring games off the bench. There you go.
Yes, yes. Thank you. We definitely on the same page. 'Cause I was just about to mention them. Shaman, like you mentioned, the mid-range game showed us, okay, my three-pointer is not here. I'm not just gonna spot up in the corner or the wing and keep jacking threes.
Mm-hmm.
Got to the mid-range and looked very efficient there. I don't think he missed a bucket in that mid-range area. I don't remember him missing it. He looked very comfortable in that area. And granted, if you know, a lot of other players do play in that area, so maybe that's why. But I did notice that the Knicks today were running him off screens, doing a lot of different things, keeping him in movement also, on like almost like what we
Yeah.
were doing with Mikal.
Yeah. They've been
They
doing
were
that
doing
for a
that
few
with.
games actually. He's been running off screens for like I would say 5 or 6 games. I feel like.
Okay, well, that's what's up. We need to keep it up. Just keeping him in the corner or trying to force him to create always didn't work out. It didn't work out, and I'm a firm believer in after injuries, you know, people take people's time. You could talk about running all day, but the game's speed and whatever, that's different. That's different than just practicing and running cardio. The game is really fast, very stop and go. It's hard to, you know, replicate what it feels like to play a game without playing in the game.
Right.
So it might take people other longer than others after the injury. And you heard about Precious and him mentioning the mental aspect of injuries, not trusting yourself and things of that nature. So now we're seeing, with added attempts. You get a little bit more swag, you get a little bit more confidence in yourself, got a couple extra shots, you ain't got
Mm-hmm.
the pressure off. Oh, I got the green light if I get a good shot. And we're seeing results from our team. And campaign, real quick, I wanted to say, I know people again. I always mention how his shot selection drives people nuts, but
Yeah.
he keeps people the defense on their toes. Today he had a shot you didn't know if it was a oop or you didn't know if it was a floater, and that is what I asked of Jalen Brunson, which what I think will unlock his game for real, for real.
I agree.
That what kind of what the dirty lollipop does a lot. You don't
Mm-hmm.
know whether it is a floater or it is a shot, and it freezes people, but it does. And we saw that today with Cam. You don't know what he's gonna do. You don't know if he's gonna pull up for the three or give it to somebody in the corner. So I respect that. Because the deep, if we don't know what he's doing, defenses don't
Yeah,
either.
he don't be knowing either. That's why I be.
I respect it. But his defense, campaign's defense, has been really impressive to me. Whenever he's out there, he's a disruption. Him and Deuce is pretty good to watch defensively.
Oh yeah.
He caught I think a couple charges today. Just deflections, keeping
Mm-hmm.
pressure. A reliable vet. Brunson's down, and you like, okay, I might be scared about his shot selection, but I know he can get others involved and run a team.
Speaking of great defense role players, Lynch Shaman's been fantastic defensively as well. I'm
Fact.
not a stat person, but I did see a stat activity on Twitter where he held the Kings players in the Sacramento game to 4-12 when he was a primary defender, also forcing 4 turnovers. So Shaman to me has been consistent all season long. His defense has been solid. I think he's been like a dollar store version of Dante DiVincenzo and what he brought. And this Portland team, they're not a great rim protection team, but they do defend the three pretty well, and they defend the mid range. Spot up shooters tend to have trouble against this Blazer team, and that's what's so impressive of Mikal Bridges and Shamet is that's where they got their points tonight. They were able to fight through screens and really find their spots on the floor, even though the defenders of the Sharps of the world and Carmera. These guys are very good, long, lengthy defenders that made life hell in the mid-range area. But they were giving us that mid-range with the drop coverage. So it was giveth and taketh. And Shaman and Bridges would both find a way to really thrive in the opportunities that were given to him. So Shaman's a great two-way guy. Love him as a bench piece. I think the more minutes that he gets with Brunson out, the more he's going to gain into the rhythm too and get his confidence up. He is going to be very crucial for us in the playoffs. He's really the one pure shooter that we have off the bench. And I hope that Tibbs gets some opportunities and continues to running plays for him as well.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, you want to say something?
I agree with Leo, everything you just said, because I mentioned too how I believe that you'll see his greatest value in the playoffs. Just being able to take some pressure off of the starters, giving some buckets, reliable defense. A lot of his when people score is because of his height. It's just basically them shooting over him. Better, a good defense, better offense. Is a lot of times with Shannon. It has been. Except for like I remember like that stretch after the OKC game, he had like some bad defensive lapses. But other than that, he's been pretty solid on that.
Yeah, crazy. It's crazy at the end, at the beginning of the season. Thibodeau was putting Shamet in for defense, and I was just like, nobody in Knicks Twitter could have told me that was going to happen. He's like, oh, we need defense, put in Shamet. It's like, wait, what? This is like, it's happened a few times too before we got our full team. But yeah, he deserved the call. He definitely deserved the call. So I'm happy with him defensively and happy to see him come around offensively too. All right, all right.
Hell yeah.
Salute to the chat, though. At 2:16 a.m. in the morning, crazy Knicks fans rocking with KOT. We see you guys. So salute to the chat. Shout out to Alexander. Shout out to Glamour. Picks for Timmy. Everybody else is rocking with this show. Predicate, I see you too, man. If you like that show, hit the like, hit subscribe, and thank you for sharing. Glamour, I saw you sharing on Twitter. I appreciate you, Glamour, for retweeting your peoples. So you know what? Let's get to something. Let's get to something. Short conversation. I know there was some chatter before the game about the comments of Mikal Bridges. I just want to get y'all thoughts before we move on. All right. If you did not know, if you've been living under a rock today, the talk has been the Mikal Bridges comments on Tom Thibodeau and the minutes. All right. And this is reported by Stephen Bondi. And here's an article says it's titled "Why Mikal Bridges Asked Tom Thibodeau to Play Knicks Starters Fewer Minutes." Hell of a title. Everybody's clicking that, right? And here's the quote. Here's the quote from Mikal Bridges. "Sometimes it's not fun on the body," Bridges said before hitting the OT winner. Wait. Wait. Hold on a second. Is this a new one? This is not what I meant to read. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, guys. Why did that open as I was clicking? That is so weird. I'm not sure what happened right there. Give me a second. All right, I'm gonna read this quote real quick. He says, "We've got a lot of good guys on this team that can take away minutes, which helps the defense, helps the offense, helps tired bodies being out there and giving up all these points." And Bridges says Tom Thibodeau was receptive to him talking about the stars getting less minutes, but sometimes I think he just gets in his ways. And then later today, right before the game, Thibodeau speaks to the media and says, "This conversation never happened. We never talked. Mikal never talked to me about minutes." And then he proceeds to say that, Jalen Brunson plays the 21st most minutes in the NBA. Cat plays the 25th minutes in the NBA. We have wings. The wings are going to play more minutes than everybody else because, they're defensive stoppers, and we need our wings to play more minutes. I want to get your guys' thoughts on both comments. I guess first it's just kind of weird that Mikal said definitely that the conversation happened and Tibbs says it didn't happen. That's just weird by itself. I don't think it's going to affect how the team is run, team chemistry, whether we win or lose, but it's just weird. It's just weird in general for that to happen. But I want to get your guys' thoughts on the comments made by Mikal, whether you feel like he said it or not, or if there's any validity to it at all.
I think he did say it. I think it was like wasn't it on the mic or something like kind of vibe. But it's kind of I didn't have a problem with him saying it. I know people saying timing, but how many years are we gonna say, we would have won had we had so and so?
Mm-hmm.
and if so and so was playing, and we before other teams, I could understand that we didn't have the talent. This year, especially in the beginning of the year, it was times where we could have experimented. That's the time to do it, and we didn't do it at all. We didn't even attempt to experiment with anything, with any change of the lineups, of any defensive specialist roles, of anything like that. You don't know if Dottier could have came in here and gave you some shots or whatever. You don't know anything. We rarely experiment when it comes to that, and now is not the time to do that, and we might have to because we're missing our captain. So I've been on here saying how all minutes are not the same minutes, and in a league where it's very offensive, we're asking a lot of this young man. We're asking a lot of Mikal. We're asking him to be elite on offense, give us elite output on offense, and then be elite on defense and guard the best of the best. That's a lot of energy. So that's a lot of wear and tear. We don't see the amount of turn ankles these people get, the jam fingers, jam wrists, shin splints,
Mm-hmm.
hamstrings. These are all little injuries that they play through. So we don't, and we're talking about the Iron Man. So if an Iron Man, the one they call Iron Man of the league, says you're giving him too many minutes, maybe it's time to listen. It's kind of, to me, it seems like you've gone through the chain of commands and nothing happened. So you just like, it's me. I don't know what else to do. That's what I got, the kind of vibes I got. And Tibbs is always going to be real political about his answers. It's kind of damage control, I believe. So just say, but now you're calling your player a liar. So I just think that they're going to have conversations. It's just, it's out there now. You can't avoid this conversation. And maybe this was a call out to Leon and them. Like, I get with players, but we're not robots. And all minutes are not the same minutes. That's just what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I definitely respect what Mikal was saying. I know maybe the people say the timing, but again, he's played 60 something games now. Maybe it's like, help on
Yeah,
some Kevin
yeah,
Hart. Help
yeah. Help
me.
me, me. What you got? What you got, Lee?
As I mentioned earlier in the podcast, it doesn't bother me. I've survived hell with this New York Knicks team. So these minor inconveniences, I think they're good for the team. They're good for open air conversation. They're good to work things out. Sometimes I think Mikal is a new person on the team. Maybe he felt going saying it publicly would initiate some type of change, but he still played 40 more minutes tonight, including overtime. But Tibbs ran the final play for him to win the game, and he ran it effectively. And Mikal was a participate in it effectively and got the shot off and hit the shot, and we won because of him. So it was kind of the perfect ending to that entire conversation
Yeah,
because Mikal ended up having maybe the best game of his career as a New York Knick against a very good Portland Trailblazers defense that was keen in on him too and making life hell, and he really thrives. So it's not something I'm worried about. This team hasn't had any really serious off the court issues or on the court issues. They seem to be a team that has open conversation. Hart, Brunson, Mikal being close, that's something so dialogue. And I think guys are looking out for each other. So Tom Thibodeau hopefully will adjust and continues to play the bench more. Love that Landry Shamet got over 20 minutes. That might be a first for the season.
yeah.
It feels like it is, but it
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be the last. I think that should continue. And basically just ride the hot hand. That's all I ask for. If Mikal Bridges is a hot hand, play him the whole game. Like I'm not going to be upset about that. But if Shamet is knocking down that three and giving you mid-range assassin, play Shamet 25 minutes. Maybe bench Bridges a little bit more too. Just always go with the hot hand. Don't go with the guys you feel like should finish the game. Go with the guys who are giving you the best chance to win.
Yeah, I agree. And obviously, the win tonight helps smooth things over a little bit more. A loss might have made that whole thing be amplified more. But like you said, the fact that it was Mikal Bridges who brought this game home, played 40 minutes, definitely helps smooth things over, at least in the eyes of the public, and maybe even in the locker room. If it was even if it was a thing, I don't know if it was a thing or not. If it was a thing, winning cures a lot of stuff. Point blank. Period. Now, like, it's funny. I've always kind of felt like last year's minutes police was kind of overblown, because I feel like the Randall injury kind of forced us into having to do those type of things. And it was like, why don't you play? Why didn't you play? Who was it? Alec Burks. Alec Burks was cheeks for the entire season. I was like, yeah, leave his ass on the bench. I was all for it. This season. I think Lee knows that when Landry Shamet came back, I was sitting there, I was like, why isn't Landry was still only playing 5 minutes? I thought the roles would expand. I thought the minutes would expand, and it didn't quite happen. So it was like I kind of understand where the minutes things is coming from this season more than last season. So I'm with you guys, and I do hope it changes. And even now, when it's like, I feel like it'll be easier for who knows what the team's gonna be next year. I still feel like, even though I do wish Tibbs would expand his horizons more, I do feel like next year, hopefully Dadier has another year on his belt and he's more comfortable with playing a wing. Or we end up signing a more legitimate backup wing, and he helps us as well. Cause I do feel like a big reason why they keep leaning on Mikal and OG so much is because Tibbs looks to the bench and goes, okay, McBride, he can kind of hold up, but Shamet too small. Shamet too small. Everybody else too small. We don't have the Shamet too small. Precious is kind of tall but can't shoot. Like I feel like he's still kind of searching for somebody who he can throw in and he can trust. We don't lose the lead. And he doesn't all the way have it yet because of lack of size, lack of shooting, or a lack of ability on both sides of the ball. So I do feel like if we ever solve that part of the problem, maybe this conversation next season won't be as potent, whether it be Dadier or another player coming in. But we're just gonna have to deal with it now. But for now, Mikal Bridges 40 minutes. We won. Shamet 19 minutes. All is right. Let's keep that train going.
Yeah, that's a good point. Best case scenario for me is next season, Dadier and Hot Porty replace Shamet and Precious. That's for me the best case scenario. You have two guys then that can give you some version of what Mikal and OG are giving you right now, which is wing stop. I think Hot Porty, I mentioned on this show before, I think he can guard some threes. I think Dadier can guard some twos. I think both can guard the thinner fives. So, hey, man, there could be some really dynamic defensive possibilities on very cheap contracts by next year, but they have to prove themselves, especially Dadier. I think Hot Porty already has a little bit of Tibbs' trust before he got injured. Dadier really needs to prove his trust and develop a serious three ball. It can't be a Precious Achiuwa three ball or someone who's scared to shoot. It needs to be a three that is dependable, that's a part of that offense where when he's in the game, he's filling that two-guard role, and he's the one who's taking catch and shoot shots and making them.
Yeah. Daddy, I when we drafted him and I watched the summer league and he showed me a little bit of his passing game and his defense. I didn't know that was a surprise to me. I know people had talked about his offensive game a lot in the scouts before, but when I seen his defense, that was really a pleasant surprise to me, and that kind of made me like, yo, sky's the limit for this young man. We might have just got another gem. His jump shot is very pretty. His form is very, very pretty. To me, it's his strength. He's young. He doesn't have that grown man strength yet. He can't move anybody just yet. But I think next year he's in this rotation. I definitely think next year he's in this rotation. We might be wrong. We think this front office is going one way and they they go somewhere else. But I like Daddy's game a lot. I know people keep saying Tyler, but the whole thing with Tyler is his defense. His
Yeah,
defense. Until he has to learn how to make it harder for his men. Until
right.
then, the teams they're going to target him. They're going to target him a lot. So that's the only reason I don't think he's getting any real run right now.
Yeah, I agree. All good points. It looks like we have Tellem on the Discord. Actually,
Hell yeah.
my sound has been weird on Discord recently, so I'm not sure. Tell him if you hear me. If you're listening, tell him. Or Fritz, if you, because I see you're in the room with him. Tell him to just start speaking, and I think they'll be able to hear you guys though. They might be able to hear you guys, but not me. But so tell him I'm gonna bring you in and just start speaking because my mic is being weird in Discord right now. So just do your thing. All right, tell him. All right. Is it working? Hold on a second. Okay, tell him you're in. Hopefully,
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
yeah. Answer him, guys. If you
Jay Ellis, let me know.
I hear
Are
you,
we
bro.
clear?
can you hear
Yes,
them?
Testing
sir.
1
Loud
2
and
3.
clear.
Check.
Just talk. Tell
We
him.
good? We good, Jay Ellis? Let me
Yes.
know, boy.
Let me hit
Give me
the
a
chat.
sign. Wave, something.
You good,
I
bro?
think we good. Oh, I think we good. Hey, what's going on tonight? KOT show. Shout out to my man Jay Ellis. What's going on, my girl Ebony? And shout out to Truth Telling Lee. So boom, check it out. Tonight was crazy, son. Tonight was crazy. 42 lead changes is not normal. My heart, I don't know how it's still attached to my body. 42 lead changes, bruh. I want to start off with Jay Ellis. I want to talk to you, my brother. We was talking, right? Boom, we lose Brunson. Everybody sad. Everybody tired. It's late. Boom. I hit you up. I'm like, yo, this is our opportunity to start developing without Brunson so we could prepare for the non-Brunson minutes down the road in the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
So boom, the next game we play the Clippers, we lose. I think that was on a back-to-back. I don't think we had a day of rest. So
Right.
boom, we lose that game. And guess what, Ebony? Guess what, Lee? I was telling Jay Ellis, I feel like if Deuce was a little bit more efficient that game, we probably could have stole that game against the Clippers. We lost 95-105. Boom. The next game, who goes crazy in the first quarter? Deuce, 15 points. And that same game, OG goes crazy that game. I think he had 28, 7, and 8 with 5 steals. I forgot exactly. But in that Clippers loss and the Kings blowout, I noticed OG.
Sorry, go ahead. Hello?
I don't hear him no more.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know. Maybe. Uh-oh. That sounds
Uh-oh, we lost. Uh-oh. What happened?
Uh-oh.
No, it was cooking. Oh, what did I do?
He's probably still going.
He probably is. He's probably smoking it too. Oh man, damn it.
So technology, man.
Technology sucks.
He was confirming. I mean, a lot of the things that we were saying, that Brunson being out, there's a silver lining. It allows other guys to step up and get into rhythm. I think that really considers the bench. I think I saw Pittsburgh Timmy say that once Deuce and McBride's back to the bench, that's going to help Shamorie too. I agree with that. I think that unit gain continuity is going to be very, very important as we hit this home stretch. We really don't need those bench guys if we want to even win that first round series against whoever it is.
Right.
Detroit Pistons, Milwaukee. We need the bench to step
Right.
up.
Yeah, I seen somebody, I don't know who said it, and I can't remember, but it said Shamit that who Boo-Champ should play over Shamit. That's what I just saw. But Boo-Champ
Yeah.
is very, he's up and down. He can get on a heater, but his defense is the issue too. So that's not Shamit's issue. That's why he's playing.
That's definitely why he's playing. Yo, I'm so sorry about that, Tellem. I was trying to fix the mic so you can hear me, and that ended up messing up your mic. I'm so sorry. But I feel like I knew you was going with it. I feel like I knew you was going with it because although I was tired and had snot boogers in my eyes because we was doing the post-game show and I lost at 2 a.m, I was echoing a lot of the same sentiments that you were saying. You know, we lost to the Clippers, but it was up on a back-to-back after we lost Jalen Brunson. So there was no real time to implement, a strategy and an identity on what to do and what to run without Brunson, because we didn't even have time to practice or even kind of game plan really the next day. So I did not expect to win that game. And I feel like the game afterwards, we moved the ball and our identity got better. And we also caught a Kings team on our back-to-back. So that was the kind of perfect game for us to kind of get things going. Today was even more challenging because we played a Portland Trailblazers team who actually played legit defense and challenged our shooters. But I also feel like we had even more of a game plan, and we kind of mixed in, the ball movement with just concentrating on getting Mikal the ball in the right spaces, our most efficient shooter. So I feel like with more time, that part of the game is going to come even more fluid for us, and we should be all right, and we should be able to hold down the shit with Brunson out until he gets back. All right.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Tellem, man. I gotta get this together. I'm sorry.
Technology. He back? Oh, I thought he's back. Nah, I just wanted to talk about real two plays that kind of stood out to me. A couple plays with Cat showing more than earlier in the game. He went back to his dive into the lane move he has, just go straight, steam ahead. But earlier in the game, he had like a good little hook, and he used his footwork to get it. So I'm hoping that continues. Just showing some moves. He was showing some moves today instead of just always going full steam ahead.
Yeah, straight line drive, getting those offensive fouls. Yeah, I feel you.
All the time. He was showing a little something else. So maybe he working with Pat. Maybe Pat pulled him aside and said, "Come here, young fella. Let me talk to you." I'm hoping that happens. And picks for Timmy saying Doge hit the disco. It was absolutely hilarious. I just wanted to say that real quick. The Doge hit the disco.
Doge at the disco is crazy.
That's funny. That's funny. And OG in that drop step, that was nasty.
That was my play of the game. That was my ooh pick, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, crazy all day, all pie, right?
That was my
All right, might as well get to the ooh picks then. If y'all don't have anything else to say.
Okay, well, my ooh pick was that drop step from OG. The drop step, the two-hand dunk, and the thing with OG is, the thing it is with OG, like, he's developing in the post, but his post moves are really sometimes he looks okay, sometimes he falls to the ground, and I don't understand because he looks like he's never skipped leg day in his life, so I don't understand how he always falls when he's down there. I feel like he should have strong legs. So the fact that he kind of went there with a plan and did a drop step spin move dunk, made it seem like, oh wait, you've been working on post moves for real, because you don't just do that on the whim. You have to practice that. So ball is no. All right, ooh pick OG, and of course you gotta go Mikal Bridges. For the pull-up 3 game winner. We talked about how timid he was all season. Took some balls to say, I'm going for the 3 with the game on the line. Yep. If we hit it, we win. If I miss it, we lose. Ballsy shot. Didn't even, I'm going to go past him and we should just try to get the 2 to send it to still double overtime. No, I'm going for the win. And he hit it. Bobblehead, Mikal. Oh, yeah, I loved all that energy. You already know I love Bobblehead Mikal, who's talking all that smack and being disrespectful and trolling. Troll Cal is my favorite Mikal. All right.
For the double bang. The double bang.
My love goes bang, bang, bang. That's 3 bang. Shout out to Pops, all right? If you know, you know.
Yeah, shout out. R.I.P. Yeah. But yeah, double bang.
Yeah.
In the game.
All right, any bro picks or ooh picks for anybody else?
I got 2 ooh picks. My first ooh pick to my main man, Nityak. He said that if Doge trimmed the fat on KOT, that Lee would be the one that was cut. I thought that was a hilarious roast. I gotta give my man props for roasting the shit out of me. That's a good one, man. Shout out Nick Yak, man. He's hilarious in the chat.
That's funny.
Also, I got a ooh pick for the Knicks finally winning gritty. It's great to have a return to the team that so many fans fell in love with last year, showing an ability to win it in the mud, because sometimes it is just about two guys fighting over a knife in the mud. So it's great that they were able to adjust to a Kings team that really was that was a team that allowed them to shoot a lot of threes. So they were able to go there and really bomb away. The Portland Trailblazers are a much better team defending the three, so we had to work more in the mid range. You saw the difference against the Kings. We shot 22 of 40 against the Blazers, only 12 of 31. But points in the paint against the Kings, 40. Against the Blazers, 58. So this is a Knicks team showing they're capable of adjusting to their opponent and winning in different ways. Most importantly, winning the really gritty, difficult, messy games, which the last year's Knicks team were one of the best in the NBA doing so. And it's great to see this team return to form.
And ugly game. I put in full makeup and cried on IG type of ugly. The mascara running down your face. Yeah, ugly wins. We like those. All right. Any bro picks? Any bro picks for you?
Yeah, I gotta start writing my bro picks down because I'm like, I'm gonna remember them, and then I don't remember a lot. But I do, I do remember I have one bro pick. It was shout out to the Knicks fans traveling all over. We all over, right? You hear the Deuce chants, the Let's Go Knicks chants. You hear it. They pan the camera to the crowd, and it's a Knicks fan with a Knicks jersey and overalls over the jersey. Why though? Why, bruh? Why would you do that? Like, put the overalls down, maybe one, or over a jersey under the overalls is crazy. With a t-shirt under all of that is crazy.
Nasty work.
That was something I would wear.
Nasty work. You trying to represent the farmers. Trying to represent the farmers in this country.
Don't give me any ideas, guys.
Okay.
No, you gonna rock it? Take a picture of
Listen,
you.
man.
Don't give me any
crazy.
ideas.
Like, pick a struggle.
How
you gonna put that?
I'll design,
struggle.
I'll design a custom KOT overall. Don't.
Need a pair, bro. Need a pair.
Like, you gonna put the jersey underneath the overalls? That was new. That was new. So, he definitely gotta give my bro pick. He caught my whole attention,
Bro.
I want to give a new pick to Oliver Miller. Oliver Miller, one of the fattest players I ever played in the NBA, but damn it, he was good in the post. Solid rebounder, great defender. Someone who caught my eye because for some reason he had a house in Dallas on the golf course where I played high school golf. Yes, I did play high school golf. I hate the game now, but I loved it back then. And I was never very good. And one day I was teeing up. He was on the 10th hole. Started the back nine, and I sliced the shit out of a shot, and it went through broke the window in his house.
Wow.
I didn't leave a note and say it was me, but yes, he had the biggest house on a golf course, and I broke his window. So R.I.P. Oliver Miller. I'm sorry for that. I know you're in heaven looking down, giving me a bro pick tonight. I appreciate you, brother. I hope your family is, safe and protected, and I hope you're getting rest that you deserved. Oliver Miller was a great Phoenix Sun and a fun player to watch. He would never make the NBA nowadays, but he was like Zach Edey times two, man. He was a big boy, but damn, he was a beast in the paint.
Oh,
All right. I don't know.
I got one more bro pick. Shaq, of course, and not watching basketball. Obviously.
Oh yeah, that's a good one, Ebony.
Bruh.
Like, people talk about people on teams they're not, coaches of teams that they're not, players on teams that they're just off. Saying players have skills that they don't. Like, just whatever that's not true. He said.
I'm gonna just for those who missed it. All right.
Talk about it.
Yeah, Shaq was talking about the Pistons. You know, the Pistons are playing pretty well recently. And he goes, man, Chauncey Billups is doing a really good job. I was like, wait, what year are we in? Chauncey Billups is still in Pistons? And they were like, the crew was like, what? What, Jack? And he's like, he's not on the Pistons. He doesn't coach the Pistons. It's like, wait, what? Biggest staff coaches the Pistons. He's like, oh, I don't watch the Pistons. What?
Bruh.
Like
Double bro.
you get paid to
Bruh.
watch games now, my guy. That is your job, to get paid to talk about games you're supposed to watch.
Yo.
Like the players did all of this talking about journalists, you know, and everything, and to get these jobs to do exactly but worse than the journalists do in this job. Like I've seen it with we just I brought a pick was just Draymond Green not too long ago.
Yeah.
You know, all that new media, you become old. Now you're doing the same things. You're not even preparing for your job, just showing up, literally talking out your big butt. Pause.
And Bill is actually doing a really good job.
He on his real
That's the
team though.
crazy part.
On his real team, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That was wild. That was wild.
It's just nutty. It's nutty. Like there's a bunch of people who would love to be in that spot. People who went to school for that spot, and they give it to you because we're supposed to be able to get real honest basketball analysis from a Hall of Fame type player. That's why you're there, for you to be worse and sound like an old bitter hater.
And this is why like the fan media, like the fan media, not the NBA fan media, kicking people's ass right now. Because ESPN don't even watch games. The ESPN analysts don't watch games. They don't care.
A bunch of box score whores. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I'm supposed to go box score warriors. This is a family show. Sorry.
That's right.
Box score warriors. But yeah, it's terrible not watching this show.
Yeah.
They be so off. That's how I found, you know, KOT and the Knick community, Knick social media community. I got tired of watching the outsiders cover our team.
Yeah.
Because it was never true. It was so off. They would say so and so or somebody on our team did this, and I'm like, when they did that?
Yeah, it happened too many times.
Like their skill set is this? I'm like, when?
Yeah.
What player they been watching?
Yeah.
You know, the Knicks for Clicks really did it for me.
Yeah.
So like I found Nick Twitter, YouTube, and other content. You know, Knick of Time Show, Big Steph, everybody that you know. Just giving you Knick content that watches the Knicks is just where that's the way to go. That's how the way it was for me, at least.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a lot of dedication to watch NBA games on a day-to-day basis. Like if you are watching multiple games a day, let's just even say 2 to 3, that you're watching 80% of each of those games, you have no social life. I spend the majority of my free time watching basketball because I love it. And I also get paid for it so that I have the incentive to do so. I can't write some shit out my ass. I'm going to call it out by thousands of people if I write something that sits on the same par as what Shat says on a nightly basis. It takes a lot of effort. And I think it's really easy to see when they're on TV every day who is watching. The guys like Tim Ledler, Zach Lowe, for sure, even Kenny Smith, they're watching every game. And the guys who aren't. And the ones who aren't typically are the ones who are being paid the most. But it is a massive investment to watch NBA that much. Like you basically have to have no significant other, no personal life, no kids, no freelance, just to watch ball all the time.
Much.
Yeah, let's stop the BS. The majority of people are not watching a bunch of basketball games, 80% of a game every night. They're watching highlights, they're checking bot stories. The people who are paid millions are the ones who should be watching it every night to give us, the fans, the layman's, their interpretation of what's happening on the court from a professional opinion. And they're not. And they're just basically just eating paychecks for free.
Shout out to Jamal Crawford. That's why he's pretty good with it. Like you was on that wave too.
Again.
Yeah, Shout out to Jamal Crawford. Tries to keep it honest, even with the refs. Let you know I wouldn't have called that. Whatever the case, gives you let you know that it's not easy being a ref. He gives you the human side of a basketball player while still giving you basketball.
Yeah.
I wish we would have been able to give him a bigger role. I know Clyde and Breen is like, where can you be? He got signed to NBC, but yeah, he does a really good job of knowing these players, like physically knowing what they're capable of, like being a fan, a student of the game. You hear how he talks about the coaches, from the coaches to the refs to the players, everybody. He knows their tendencies. He knows their game. He watches. You can tell that he watches these people. So yeah, I just wish there were more Jamal Crawfords.
Yeah, and he's actually gotten better as like the season gone along too. That's
Yeah.
been the cool part. You can see the
They
progression.
they like to give people like Reggie the chance, and I remember Chris Webber being up there, but he was so bad that people actually petitioned for him to get off.
Damn.
So that just shows their pickup talent. They put Draymond up there thinking he was the savant, and he was just basically Chuck and Charles Barkley and Shaq had a baby. That's what Draymond was.
Damn.
Yeah. Or Richard Jefferson. Awful.
Man.
Richard Jefferson reminds me of Reptile from Mortal Kombat.
I thought you were gonna say Spider-Man, but
Nah, Reptile.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat. Remember when Reptile took his mask off?
Yeah.
That's Richard Jefferson.
Bro. Heavy's on the heater, man.
Oh yeah.
It's a great
2 a.m. assassin.
Oh, damn, that's the time, bro.
that is hilarious.
Chewed up. He was getting chewed up today too.
Reptile. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
That's another thing. I ain't don't think I ain't see that. You falling asleep, Precious. You done caught the watching gene too. I seen it. You getting beat back door and stuff. Come on, Precious. You got this. You got this. Don't make your name with chewed up.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to give you that nickname, but you trending right now.
He didn't think he was playing. Mitch got into foul trouble. He's like, "Oh, me? Oh, okay." All right. Okay. Never came back in after that. All right, yo. All right, yo. That's the show, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Shout out to the 2 people who joined on TikTok. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, we building, baby. We building. Follow at 2 a.m. Y'all crazy. All right. Also, shout out to everybody on YouTube land. Shout out to Alexander Lee's in there in the chat mixing it up. Nick Yak. Fritz. Oh, definitely follow Fritz and the NBA economy over there. Fritz's show over there doing his thing. Shout out to
Fritz
Logic
be knowing
Sir.
what he talking about. He be inspiring other folks.
There you go. Get those reps in. Fritz. Get those reps in. All right. Picks for Timmy. Logic Sir. Who else I'm missing? East Blue Drew. Tell him Alejandro. Everybody rock with the KT Shield. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, if you like the show, hit that like, subscribe, and share as well. We here after every game talking Knicks basketball. 2 a.m, 2 p.m. We here talking Knicks basketball. All right, and we will be here for the next show. And when is the next show? The next show is when is the next show?
Don't give me the fibbing. Oh, I'll tell you right now. It is Saturday.
So we got a couple of days. Versus the Golden State Warriors. All right. So be there or be square. We'll see you Saturday. All right. Ebony, let me know where they can find you.
You can find me here after every post game. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. I feel like I'm missing something. TikTok. There you go. And you can find me before every game on Twitter called Your Take Knicks at Your Take Knicks space. And occasionally for women's basketball at Balling with the Queens.
All right. Lee, let them know.
At Twitter _Lee Escobeedo. I did not read a book today, but I did go see a wonderful film called Nora, It won the best film in the Oscars. It won Best Picture. It won a slew of awards. Also won Best Actress for Mikey Madison, who plays a stripper who falls in love with one of her clients, who is a son of a Russian oligarch in New York City. And it's about their whirlwind romance after getting married in Vegas, and how the Russian oligarch semi-mob tries to break up their marriage and have it annulled while she's finally finding love in a possible escape from her stripper life. But it pays a great attention to detail and really humanizes people who have to, who choose to work these jobs, that a lot of them are not looking for a white knight or a savior. They're really looking just to manipulate the system and see it as themselves as entrepreneurs and try to make money. And it's a very gritty, real film. It's one of the best examples of a film that felt like I was watching a documentary that I've ever seen. It's very beautifully shot, very authentic, really natural dialogue, and you can tell that the entire cast really put a lot of time into trying to understand who their characters are and portray them in the most human way possible. But it's a really beautiful movie. Anora, it's in theaters. Try to see it before it goes away. Definitely worth your money.
Oh man, damn it! That already a political bro pick. Damn it.
There's still time, bro. It's your show.
Oh my god! Every other day is political bro pick. Political bro pick number 695.
Bruh.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump says an attack on Tesla will be deemed was like domestic terrorism. So he freed January 6ers who killed police officers, stormed the Capitol, hurt politicians, freed those guys from jails. Those guys are patriots. But attacking Tesla is domestic terrorism.
Bruh.
All right, I'm done.
They're not hiding the quiet part. That's all.
Woo!
And the hypocrisy for me, because these are the same people that was calling people cupcakes for driving electric cars. What happened to Ford Tough? Ford Tough. America. Ford Tough. What happened to that?
Damn, Ebony. It's just on fire, man.
Yeah, man. 2 a.m. Ebony is different.
The roast is real.
2 a.m. Ebony is different.
I knew that as a meme. The Ford Tough, man. That's a shirt. Holy hell, that's hilarious. Oh. As someone living in Texas, I hear that shit all the time. Oh my god. Woo. Yeah, man. Magnus is exceptionally obnoxious and unbelievably difficult to have any conversation based in reality with them. They're a special bunch, man. This president, this administration's been incredibly insufferable, idiotic. It's funny that like cars have more rights than some of our people in America. Unbelievable.
And dogs too. Dogs and cars.
Yeah.
Women love it.
Yeah. Also fired half of the Department of Education now.
Scared of everything except for equality.
Yeah. Which is in Project 2025. Get rid of the Department of Education.
We're not scared of anything except
I was crazy.
Whatever. But the thing that people they don't realize, these things are in place for a reason. So a lot of people, they're in place for a reason, is to give equality to everybody. Like not even racial. We're talking about disabilities. You're talking about mentally, whatever the case may be. If you go private, a lot of people might be left out.
Yeah,
they're not the targeted audience or customer. And, you understand?
And that's what I was telling a lot of the people of color voting for Trump, that once he starts to do stuff like cut the Department of Education and force you to go private, we are in trouble, like your kids. Because now you're forcing your kids to go from free school to private school where you have to pay. So now you have another cost on top of your regular costs and your guys' groceries. And then on top of that, once you're sending your kids to private entities can do what they want. They can kick your kid out. They can change the rules. So now you're really in trouble if your kid is being over policed in school, because now kid won't have a place to go after that. So, but what do I know?
My final take is a hot one.
Or tough. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I've never been a fan of private schools or vouchers or school choice, just for the simple fact that a public school system is the greatest preparation for real life. It puts you into a melting pot to be around other individuals from different social classes, from different racial backgrounds, different cultures, and it's the best way to learn how to modulate yourself to fit in with people, but also to stand out. And I've gained so many friends and so much appreciation for other cultures, but specifically being in Dallas, Southern culture, and understanding what it means to be like a Southern Hispanic or a Southern Black or a Southern White. There's actually a lot in common there, and there's more in common than there is difference. And I learned that through public school, and I think it's just being forced into a situation, be the person who's getting your ass beat, sometimes being the person who's beating the ass. That is part of life. To learn to knock down and pick yourself back up, to learn to punch someone in the face when they deserve it, to get yourself punched in the face when you deserve it. That's, to me, is a vital part of life and why I'm such a big proponent of public schools and funding them.
Yeah. I'm not even against private schools. I'm just against taking away the choice of public schools. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of this, it just seems like antagonizing, like trying to get a response. It's like, okay, so far a certain demographic is like, okay, well, we're gonna take a break. Take a break. I'm just gonna watch. I'm gonna be a watcher. We're gonna do these randoms, right?
Yeah, you so
we're gonna do these randoms. And it's like, okay, well, that didn't get you. Then let's try this. Oh, that didn't get you. Okay, let's try this. Oh, that didn't get you. But in doing that, they're pissing off their own supporters.
Yeah.
A lot of the supporters that thought that they were safe, they're turning them.
Yep.
And it's just like, how many people can you piss off? Your bubble can't protect you from everyone. Is how I feel. So sometimes you need the system needs to break down in order for it to be built back up. And I think that's where we're at right now. I think the person that's in office is going to do too much and get himself out, where his people turn on him. Because now people only understand stuff when it affects them. And a lot of his supporters are being affected right now.
Yep. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, my bad for turning this show 15 minutes longer.
It's all right. It's like 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I gotta go to work tomorrow, so I'm paying for my own passion right now. All right, that's the show. Thank you guys for watching. I gotta be up in about 4 hours, so I'm gonna talk to y'all later. All right. You can find us at DKOT Show on Twitter, the Knick of Time Show on Instagram, and the Knick of Time Show on Facebook. All right. So that's the show. Thank you guys for watching. Y'all crazy for watching us, but we love y'all crazy people. All right. That's the show. Thank you guys for watching. And as always,
shout out the worldwide west. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here in these Knicks streets. That's the show. Out this mug. Peace.
York, New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.